Hey, what is up guys? It is me, Skylanders America, and I am back again with another video. In this video, I am here to talk to you guys and speculate as to whether or not the new mobile game for Skylanders that will be dropping in 2018 will save the franchise, or if it will just end up a flop, similarly to Skylanders Battlecast. So, how this is going to be set up in this specific video is I will have a T-chart similar to a pros and cons list, but on one side we will have the scenarios that would cause the game to fail and the scenarios that will allow the game to succeed on the other side. Alright, so starting off with number one for the list for fails. Advertising and marketing. Skylanders Battlecast ended up an overall failure for the franchise, as the launch of the game was really only made known to hardcore fans of Skylanders. The general population, or more casual fans of the game, were clueless to its existence unless they went to Skylanders' website, saw cards displayed in store, or kept up with news for the game. Had the game been advertised on the internet or on television, the game would have surely seen a much better performance in terms of revenue earned and units sold. As of the making of this video, all we know is the game will be releasing early 2018 and will be an RPG type game. Obviously, Cards to Life and RPG are two completely different types of games, so they aren't comparable in that sense, but the marketing schemes could be the same theoretically. So let's hope they aren't. Now, for the first point on the successful side, what developers for the game could do is include online battle mode capabilities. Of course, this will be a mobile game, so in order for players to battle their friends online with their Skylanders, the players would create in-game profiles to add one another and then, of course, play together, similar to Battlecast. This was one thing that Battlecast did correctly. At this point, you may think that asking for online battle mode is beating a dead horse, because we have been asking for the return of it for 3 years now, but it is still one of the most highly requested functionalities for Skylanders games by fans of the franchise. If the new RPG included it, it could sort of act as a segue into the franchise, and then the next full installment on consoles could take full advantage of what it has to offer. I predict that this would also exponentially create more replayability, possibly allowing for more revenue earned on Activision's side. A second point for the flop side would be having the fans of Skylanders to be able to use their purchased items more than once. Of course, this wouldn't apply to the scenario that the RPG doesn't require any other purchases other than the game itself from the App Store, like Cloud Patrol or Lost Islands, if in fact the case is that the game is free, but there are add-on things you need to buy, such as Battlecast or Battlegrounds, then Skylanders would be foolish to only allow the player to use their purchased item one time. This is one of the many reasons Battlecast failed. After cards were scanned and unlocked in the game, they virtually served no purpose, and if you saved them after that, you were a super weird hardcore fan of the game, or you were just a hoarder. This was definitely disappointing to see because the cards were relatively expensive in relation with what you were actually getting. Although opening blind packs of cards was fun to see if you got the new ones, or just doubles, or triples, or decuples, I don't know. People did quickly lose cold hard dollars. If the RPG requires players to purchase extra physical things for the game, let's just hope that they have more than a one-time use. Now, on the successful side, another point is, ironically, something that would cause less downloads of the game onto smartphones and tablets. This is the idea of charging players on the App Store, Google Play Store, Amazon App Store, etc. money for the game. Skylanders did this for Cloud Patrol, Collection Vault, and other apps, and we saw great success in these games. Because Battlecast was free to download, Skylanders didn't earn nearly as much revenue. As difficult as it may be, Skylanders fans were able to play the game without purchasing any cards. However, Battlecast also was able to bring in revenue via advertisements that randomly appeared for players of the game. Again, there is a loophole. There are some services that people could use, such as AdBlock, or they could simply toggle airplane mode on their device of choice. This would block these advertisements from playing, disallowing Activision to make any money. Even if players were to block ads in their game or opt out from purchasing whatever is semi-necessary to play the game, Skylanders would still be able to make 99 cents or $1.99 or whatever from every download of the game. Next, for the last point on the fail side, is the RPG will fail if rushed. Now, this might sound obvious, but bear with me. The new game needs to experience the best graphics possible. It needs to not be glitchy whatsoever, and overall, the interface needs to look inviting. Skylanders Battlecast didn't have the best graphics. Every so often, the app would crash, and the interface just looked mediocre. It didn't look horrible, but it could have definitely looked a lot cooler and just more like a real Skylanders game. You know, it really just didn't have that Skylanders feel to it. Now, finally, for the last point that would make for the Skylanders RPG app soon to be released succeed would be to not have the game include a form of story or plot. What was lacking in Battlecast was a story that the game followed. Definitely, the campaign or story mode was really fun, but the only difference in each realm was the element and enemies you faced, and this got really stale. In other words, it would have been nice to see some different missions and challenges along the way, an actual storyline, and a kind of end goal for the game. If a story is included in the Skylanders RPG app, the game will be sure to see much better feedback from kids and other Skylanders fans. Anyways, guys, that is it. If you would like to add anything else, be sure to comment down below. I am sure there are plenty more points on each side. And also be sure to let me know your personal thoughts on whether the game will succeed or not. Of course, we don't have anything to base it off of because we literally know two things. I don't personally think that the game is going to fully turn the franchise in the right direction, but it could be a lifesaver if developed and released correctly and keep the game on its feet. And yes, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and don't forget to peace out.